Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Crypto Empire, where we dominate the crypto market. I'm your host for today's live stream, and my name is Connor. So first of all, heads up, I'm still traveling right now, so we're using the green screen background today. Hope you guys don't mind. Should be perfectly fine. But a lot has been happening in the market, and we do have a lot to talk about, so I want to get right into things. Before we do that, be sure to smash up the like button. Sorry about that. Smash up that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new here, and let's get going. Shout out to Johnny G, shout out to Silva Dallas, shout out to Scorch888, as well as GSZW and Shaq O. Appreciate all you guys being here nice and early for the stream. Now, market's in a very interesting spot. We just had the New York Open on Monday morning, and let's just hop right into the charts and start going over what I am seeing right now. Starting things off with BTC. So here on the 4-hour, main key thing I'm looking for is this golden moving average, just the 4-hour 13 EMA, and there's a huge battle happening between the bulls and the bears on it. I am leaning bearish here in the short term, expecting short-term downside. And in order to get that, we need to basically lose this level here at $63,750, convincingly close below it here on the 4-hour, and we can go ahead and continue to reject. Also on the 1-hour time frame, we have this trend line, which currently has 2 taps. Maybe we did just get the third on this hourly candle up. We have 1 and 2 here. So yeah, I mean, not really a convincing third tap. We'd like to see a third tap, and then ideally a rejection off of this downtrend line again. We want to break these lows here at $63,260. Below, we have a very key level at the quarterly open, $62,660. And then if we zoom this back out to the 4-hour time frame, we have some key levels down here at the 61 to 62K area. So what you need to know right now is I am leaning bearish here on the short term, and I'm watching these levels, 62,600, and then realistically 61,350, very key level here with our 4-hour 200 EMA. All right, so that's the short term. Now the macro long term, nothing's really changed in my view. I'm still a bull. I still think we're in a bull market, but like I have been saying, it doesn't mean we can't go lower before we do eventually go higher. So let's go ahead and get a fresh, clean chart up on the screen to go over the macro here. Catching up with our live chat, we got DeMarcus Jackson saying, what's up? How are you, DeMarcus? We got Donatus saying, hello, how are you? Learn and evolve. And Elvis says, how are you doing? I'm doing okay, Elvis. I appreciate it. Had a bit of a nasty injury on Saturday evening. Popped the shoulder out of the socket, but we're just recovering it now, and we're getting the range of motion back, but we keep on moving on no matter what. It is what it is. That was why I did not go live yesterday. I apologize. Not the usual Sunday live stream, but yeah, just spent a day recovering essentially. All right, so here we have Bitcoin in the weekly time frame, and I do want to get our Spaceman BTC key level indicator up here because again, we have our yearly open here at $42,000 left untapped. It would leave a lot of people very, very fearful, desperate. It would be another huge freak out if we did end up having a rollover back towards 42K. All right, so that's max downside that I see. And it is a scenario. The market's always based on probabilities. If this happens, then I will do that, right? That's how the best traders think, and that's how you should think as well. Adopt that mindset. So if we do get some kind of move to 42K, then what are you going to do? Are you going to panic and sell all your positions, or are you going to look to scoop the dip, right? I'll be looking to scoop. But yeah, that's the max downside that I'm seeing for Bitcoin. There is, of course, the scenario, because the market's always based on probabilities. There is the scenario that we hold this current range, that 48, 49K was the bottom, and we get the next leg up kind of in the immediate future. There is a few things that I believe will pinpoint the shift in the market to go back bullish again and start our leg up. And the main thing for that right now is the election coming up November 5th. All right. Trump versus Harris. Trump pro-crypto, Harris not really pro-crypto at all. And big battle right now on the polls. Who really knows what's going to happen? Who knows if the poll data is accurate? I don't think it is personally, but that's just me. Regardless, the election's in early November. We have clear proven data that tells us that typically the market starts to price in and move based off of these narratives around 40 days ahead of time, around 1 month before the actual date that the big narrative is, the market starts to move. All right, go back again. Look at like the NVIDIA AI conference that happened in March. Early February, that's when all the AI coins started to move. All right, and there's many, many examples of the narrative trade basically starting around a little over a month before the actual date. So that would mean that the market would start to pick up in around mid to late September based off of the election narrative, which means there's still 3 to 4 weeks of a potential flush out again lower before we go higher. All right, so that's something to keep in mind. And I'm really only seeing two scenarios. Either we resolve and break out to this range higher, or within the next 3 to 4 weeks, we see another huge flush out down to the mid to low 40,000s, and then we resume our uptrend and go to new all-time highs for Bitcoin. And good chance we do see over six-figure Bitcoin this year or early next year. Let me go ahead and see what else is happening with our live chat. We got Michael DJI Manor saying, greetings, Connor. Nice to have you back on the live stream. Hope all is going well. Thank you very, sir. Are you still bullish? Yes, Michael, I'm still bullish. This segment of the live stream should have answered your questions. All right, let's go over ETH here in the short term because I am seeing. Let me show you what I'm seeing here on Ethereum. All right, so tight Monday range right now. We have our 4-hour 200 EMA just above, acting as resistance here at $2,800. That's right here. All right, so we're at resistance on ETH. A lot of people might not expect a drop here to these lows, but there's so much liquidity here. All these untapped lows on ETH at around the $2,500 level. So if we are to drop, which again is a decent probability it happens, I am short term kind of bearish to start this week. We're going to get a direction here, I would say, based off of the New York market open. But yeah, there's a chance on ETH we go here to 2,500, sweep these lows, test this green demand zone one last time at $2,500, and then we start to see some upside continuation from there after grabbing all of that liquidity. All right, so prepare for that. And I just want to go over as well a few positions that I'm currently in. And let's go ahead and see. So we have Ton. Now, Ton is interesting because the founder actually got arrested. All right, Pavel Durov is the founder of Telegram, a billionaire from Russia. And he got arrested in a French airport a few days ago. I believe it was Friday night or Saturday night. And he's facing a ton of charges, potentially a few decades in jail because of this. All right, and as you can see from this article here on Crypto Potato, Elon Musk, Vitalik Buterin, Robert Kennedy Jr., they are basically saying we need free speech. And Telegram is a free speech app, and the authorities don't like that. So they went ahead and arrested him, and they're saying he did a bunch of bad things. All right, so this could mean further downside here for Ton, and that would basically mean a continuation lower here to some lower targets, right? Potentially $5 and below. Maybe we get into the fours, 475, 450. So I posted the short here on Ton a few hours ago here in the mastermind. And price is basically at entry right now, right? 550 to 560. Better get in closer to 560. Very tight invalidation. Again, we have this downtrend line, the origin of our drop here at $6.78. Just one connection point on this wick. We have another tap here, led to a rejection. We tapped it again, led to another rejection, and we are just looking for price to continue to respect this downtrend line. Stop is just above the highs of the last rejection, so it's a very clear invalidation, and we're looking for targets around $5 here on the Telegram chain. There's a few things here with Ton besides the arrest of the founder, Pavel Durov. I mentioned it 2-3 weeks ago on a live stream about how the only people really using the Telegram blockchain were incentivized by the free airdrops of like having to tap your screen a million times. The Telegram Foundation basically was rewarding cheap dopamine for people using their chain. And that doesn't last, right? That's not very sustainable. And now you had the arrest of the founder, which is a reason for a further unwind. So yeah, I mean, it's a little scalp on ton here, looking for a continued drop lower. We'll see if we do get it. And it would help, of course, if Bitcoin does drop with us. This really relies on BTC. And as of right now, we're still battling at the very key level. Again, the 4-hour 13 EMA, which is currently at $63,770. So we are right on it right now. Price is actually just above it. Anyways, we also have Turbo here, which is another short that I just took before the stream. And playing out as of now, very, very simple TA, nothing complicated, just using some basic trend lines, some fib levels, and just trading the direction of Bitcoin. So here on Turbo, as you can see in the mastermind, entry 451, stop, very clear invalidation above these highs at around $4.65. Just looking for a drop to the low fours, would be around 9%. Just a quick scalp here. We did get the initial reaction here on Turbo. As you can see from entry, we got a drop to around $4.32. Bit of a bounce now. We want to see further continuation. If it does come back up, we want to see a rejection from our trend line, and we want to see a drop here towards the low fours again. The 88.6 fib, 415. Demand the origin of the move here at around 410 to $4. So clear invalidation, clear profit targets, and we took the entry again based off of this trend line. Fib levels 50%, a lot of resistance. So we like to short resistance, take profit at support. The trend is your friend until the very end. Remember that. Don't forget it, especially if you are trading. All right, but that's just some short-term moves we're looking at here. Some short-term positions I'm in. And yeah, we'll continue to monitor these over the course of the stream. Always got to keep a watch on BTC, and we're starting to move lower now. A very small move on Bitcoin can lead to a huge move on these alts. So we have a question from Donatas. He says, your opinions about Dual. So Game GPT Dual. My opinions on Dual are it will likely pick up when the overall market picks up. It's a micro cap at 8.3 million. And gaming narrative as well as the AI narrative, but mainly gaming. Mainly a gaming coin. It did do well because of its relation to artificial intelligence earlier in the year. But yeah, as of right now, I'm sure you're asking me, is it worth holding? It's high risk, high reward. And I would say it's worth an asymmetric bet in a portfolio if you do want to hold this one. But yeah, it won't really do much until the overall market starts its next leg up, which can be soon. But as of right now, it's still very slow. We also got Mo Salah here. What's going on, Mo? How are you? Thank you for the kind words. And let's see, NIOA or NOIA. Mark some levels for you. So Centernet, 16.1 million market cap. And you can only trade it on Ethereum. Let's go ahead and get this to load up. All right, so I'm just going to take a look on the daily time frame here. All right, this is a pretty old coin. Let's go to our weekly time frame and see how far back this actually goes. All right, so this thing has already experienced a full market cycle. You know, it launched just before the bull run in 2020, September. It caught the move in altcoin season in early 2021, had a really good performance, going from 5 cents to almost $1, 95 cents. Had an okay reaction here in our kind of shorter term altcoin season from October to March. And now it's back towards the bottom for this coin. All right, based off of these weekly candles, it does look like it has potentially found a bottom. As you can see, we put in that low wick, and price is not closed beneath this wick at 4.679, 4.04697, sorry. So potential bottom forming here. And again, going off of my strategy, it's an old cycle coin. It's not something I'm interested in holding for this cycle. But I see a clear overhead resistance at 15 cents. So if you want to take a shorter term kind of trade on this, you can look to buy it below 5 and ride it up to 15 for a 3x. That's very doable because it's such a small market cap. But again, old cycle coin had already experienced a full bull market in 2021. So I would look for something, say, fresher. Of course, there's a chance it could be a huge performer. But typically speaking, based off of data alone, you know, the new coins that are experiencing their first cycle now will do better. And if you do see a drop lower, be looking at around 2.5 cents. That's the bottom of the bear market. You do not want to see it lose that level or could potentially be toast. And yes, the bull meme on Tron. So this one went 46x in 2.5 hours after Crash made a YouTube video on it. So, I mean, pretty crazy stuff. Looking at this chart, right? It's a meme on Tron. And in 2 hours, it went 64x. All right, so if you bought it before Crash made his video, well, then you made a 64x in 2 hours, and I would hope you paid yourself if you did catch that. I did not holding anything in this meme now. Potential bull flag forming here. And again, we like 3 taps. We like 3 taps on these trend lines. So didn't really hit it, but potentially one. Maybe you see another tap on this trend line to complete your bull flag and break out from there. But this is a new Crash call, and you know, Crash has a cult community around him for memes, and his memes perform very well. So there's a chance this pulls a Brett and goes to $1 billion plus, which would be over a 5x from here. I haven't taken a position in this yet. Not sure if I will. Not in a rush to. But yeah, this happened just over the weekend, right over here, August 25th, Saturday or Sunday. Crash makes one YouTube video up 60x in 2 hours. It's in consolidation now. Watch for a potential move to 90 to 100, maybe 80 million market cap to complete this lower part of the bull flag. If you're looking for an entry, if you want to talk horizontal levels, it would be a sweep of these lows. Sweep of these lows at around the 12.5 cent level. If you guys are enjoying the live stream so far, be sure to smash that like button. Also subscribe to the channel if you are new here. A lot of content to come here, especially as we get into our last leg of the cycle. This is where most of the gains are made, so you really need to be tapped in if you really want to make the most of this. Again, here in the shorter term time frames, we're looking for a Bitcoin move to potentially the quarterly open or our low 61, 62Ks down here to 4-hour 200 EMA. Take a quick scan at these markets, see if we're getting any reactions here as the New York market opens over in the US. Now let's go over Solana. So Solana is the most obvious candidate for the next ETF. And this article here from Crypto Potato talking about Google Gemini predicting Solana to be the next ETF. And I mean, you don't need AI for that. Really, it's obvious, right? There's Bitcoin, Ethereum, and the big three this cycle is Solana. BNB, it's a Chinese coin, so I'm not sure the US would want to make an ETF for BNB. In fact, I know they don't want to. All right. So yeah, Solana is the next obvious candidate for an ETF, and that's very bullish, right? It leads to more inflow into the ecosystem, which is great for Solana altcoins. And of course, more people buying Solana via the ETF will lead to price increases from there. Now in the Solana chart, as you can see, potentially, sorry, let me get rid of that. Potentially, we see a move here to around 467, previous horizontal level. But again, if Bitcoin drops, this is not happening, all right? If Bitcoin does drop, I will be looking for a move here towards the quarterly open at around 146. And this is also the previous resistance of this range we spent a few weeks in, August 11th to August 23rd, around 2 weeks. This was resistance to quarterly open. So we might get a support test before potentially going higher. Choppy stuff right now, really not a lot of huge moves to be made. It's definitely a scalper's market, right? You can scalp or you can basically sit in your hands as an investor. Those are the two options you have right now if you're active in crypto. You're either scalp trading or you are just continuing your long-term investing strategy, whether that's DCAing, continuing to research new projects, look for new narratives, look for solid coins to pick up, especially if we do see another flush out on BTC below 50K. There will be amazing buying opportunities out there, but things are overall very slow. It was very exciting this past week when we finally got Bitcoin to break out higher above 62K, made a move to 65. But overall, yeah, very slow. Now, when it comes to the AI sector, Tau is the main dog. And it would catch a lot of people off sides, but I'm going to call it right here, right now in this live stream. I'll put my money on the line and my name on the line as well. Even if Bitcoin does drop lower here in the short term to 62K, I still think it's possible that Tau does see a move to $500 here by the end of the month, August 31st. Let me go ahead and put this line directly at 500. All right, so again, I'm calling it right now. Tau to 500 by the end of the month. That's what I'm looking for. It's been one of the strongest coins currently. It's holding up very well, even with BTC dropping right now. It doesn't want to drop, right? People aren't selling, people are buying. People are understanding what BitTensor is, which is a very good thing. Let me adjust this line. There you go. So yeah, Tau to 500 by the end of the month. We'll see what happens, but that's what I'm seeing. From there, of course, it could pull back, but I made a video on Tau last week, right? My bull market price predictions, 3,000 is my minimum, all right? That could very well happen. Around a $20 billion market cap. Upside, it could be as high as 5 figures. It could be as high as 10,000. So, you know, in the short term, a move to 500 is peanuts. It's nothing. It will happen. Basically, I'm just calling the short-term direction of the market here. And I'm looking for Tau to push to 500 again by August 31st. Remember, I said that, and you can call me out if I'm wrong. Give me praise if I'm right. I don't really care. That's just what I think is going to happen here for Tau in the short term, especially with its strength. Right now, there's the NVIDIA earnings. It's going to happen on August 28th, post New York market close. All right, so that's why we're seeing a lot of AI coins actually start to pick up a bit. If we look at our AI coin watch list, all right, Tau performing great over the past few days. Since August 15th, it's put in 20% move, 37% move. OXO, again, another one starting to recover a bit. Still bullish on OXO. And just going through all these coins, right? AKT, FET, they're all AKT, not so much, but still trying to perk up a little bit. FET's been performing great recently. You know, Tau, FET, Render are the main big three. Render and Tau are the ones that I'm, you know, in positions in. Based AI also doing well, and this is all based off of the NVIDIA earnings anticipated on August 28th in 2 days from now. So that could be a local top, or if the earnings come out great, we could see some crazy pumps on AI coins. But again, this is another example of a narrative, right? NVIDIA earnings in 2 days, 2 weeks before market finds a local bottom and starts to push up from there. Very interesting how the real world events and the charts do tend to line up very, very well with each other. See what's going on with our live chat. We have Armando. He says, thank you for the video. The liquidity cycle ends July 2025. Could the top come before or right after that? Or could it possibly, unfortunately, top of November 2024? Can you please chart zero AI? All right, so a few questions here from Armando. Liquidity cycle ends July of 2025, talking about the global liquidity cycle, which is a great thing. Again, lines up perfectly with our crypto bull market right now. So your question, can the top come before or after that, or could it possibly top in November 2024? So look, there's a chance it tops out in November, December this year. If that happens, I'm not sure we see 100K Bitcoin. We could top out at 85, 90 grand if the top happens this year. But more likely than not, at this point in time, the longer this consolidation drags out, I'd say we top at around 100 to 125K. I've given this prediction before. If you're a viewer of the channel, you've heard me say this before. Q1, sell in May and go away is a really real thing. So yeah, I'd be looking just like this past year, right? Bitcoin topped out in March, ranged some distribution here in the range, but if you just followed the sell in May and go away principle, you could have avoided a lot of downside, especially on alts. So that's the answer to that question, Armando. And let's go ahead and chart zero AI. I want to see the market cap of this thing first. Scorch 888 says Bitcoin is falling. See what's going on over there on Bitcoin. All right, so yeah, we're getting that short-term drop that we were anticipating. We spoke about in the beginning of the stream. We want to see it break the current Monday low, and I liked at least the quarterly open, which lines up again with this lower trend line, and maybe we see 61 and a half. But yeah, short-term analysis is bearish in the short term. Anyways, back to zero AI. All right, so Armando, this thing has a fully diluted market cap of $1.4 million. So TA on a 1.4 mil market cap coin is not to be respected. It's really all about order flow, buys and sells. But you know, we'll look at the chart anyway. It looks good after the sweep. All right, you had a huge sell-off 4 days ago over here on the 23rd of August. Swept the lows, reclaimed. Also reclaimed the kind of listing opening price here at 1.4 cents. So again, it's a 1.4 mil market cap coin. If a few decent sized buys come in, this thing is going to multiply. The liquidity is super low. Let's see the volume on this thing. The volume's 15,000. There's really no point on doing TA on this coin, Armando. $15,000 of volume in the past 24 hours. Nobody's really trading this thing. Nobody's buying. Nobody's selling. It's very quiet, and you know you're buying what looks like towards the bottom of the range if you want this. So could be a good play, but I'm not interested personally. I've never heard of it before. Not really sure what it even is. Let's see. Richie says, thoughts on Brett being the top meme coin? I mean, my thoughts really haven't changed on Brett. It has that kind of critical mass element to it where enough people are talking about it, enough people are bullish on it. It has like that snowball effect where it just continues to grow. It's held really well during this kind of downtrend that we've been on altcoins for the past few months since we topped in around March. So yeah, Brett still has the chance to go to 20 billion, 10 billion, 20 billion, see a 10 to 20x from here. It is possible. It is possible. It's all about opportunity cost and risk. So if you're okay with risking that in a meme coin for a 10 to a 20x, it could be a good play. If you want to go more fundamentally and you're just looking for, say, a 10x, something like Tau could give that to you. So it depends on you. It depends on your goals. It depends what you're after and what you're comfortable with, what allows you to sleep well at night without worrying about your investments. All right. So yeah, Brett, still a good play in my opinion. But keep in mind, it's still a meme. And remember, the team holds 80% of this. So there's perps listed on every exchange. When they decide that it's topped, of course, they're going to let it run when the bull run happens, more than likely, right? Maybe it goes to 10 billion, maybe it goes to 20 billion. But when it tops and the team starts to sell their 80% holdings, they're also going to short it on, say, Bybit and every other exchange is listed on. So that could be a huge play, something to think about later on down the line towards the end of the cycle. And a lot of meme coins, it's going to be the same thing. They can pump 10x, 20x, 30x, 50x. But when they're listed on perps, it's really like the team basically is going to sell and they're going to short the coin as well. It's a big scam. It's a big way to make money. But if you're ahead of them, if you can read, the lines of the matrix, so to speak, you'll be able to capitalize on those shorts later on down the line. Something I've been thinking about recently on something like Brett, good example, right? When the team holds 80% of the supply, they're going to sell it at some point, and it's going to be an amazing short, potentially a 50 to 80 to 90% short. So yeah, something to look for later on, and we'll cover that when it's appropriate to do so. But right now, it's just not appropriate to talk about the end of the cycle because I don't think we're there yet, all right? Title of this live stream, The Next Leg Up, talking about the next leg up. Gave you the scenarios already here on BTC. We want to see the short-term drop, but realistically speaking, we're looking for over 100 grand Bitcoin here for this cycle. It's going to lead to really good things for altcoins as well. So that's why we're still here. That's why we're still bullish macro, and BTC dominance still kind of just climbing up, slowly, steadily climbing. Again, 60% to 63%. That's the origin of the breakdown of the 2021 cycle. I'd like to see a revisit of this, and then we see Bitcoin dominance start to fall towards 40%, and we get our praised altcoin season that we're all here for, all anticipating, but it's just not really time for that yet. And dollar as well, continuing what I was saying in last week's stream, right? Bearish on the dollar, which is great for risk on assets. We've lost that 101 level, which is what we want to see. The weekly closed below it. All right, so go watch last week's stream. We were talking about the DXY, the Dixie, continuing to drop. All right, so that analysis continuing to play out. Yeah, I'd like to see a move back here towards, say, 96. And it went as low in 2021 as 90. All right, this was peak kind of bull market in crypto, and the dollar was at 90. All right, so we want to see the dollar lose this range at 100, start marching towards 90, and that's very, very good. It lines up perfectly with our analysis for a crypto bull market, a risk-on period for commodities like Bitcoin, altcoins, risk-on assets, etc. And our total two on the macro, still kind of just holding the same level here at 900 billion. If Bitcoin goes down to 42, maybe we see 700 billion on this thing. Maybe we see 650 billion. Going to be really good buying opportunities. That would be the final chance to buy altcoins before the end of the bull run, before we get our next parabolic leg up. And then we eventually top from there, which is months down the line, but still, this is how you have to think, right? The market's all based off of probabilities and scenarios. So be ready for a scenario like that to play out, and you'll be able to execute your plan. If you don't have a plan, you won't be able to execute anything. You'll be left making stupid decisions in the moment, and that's just not how you want to go about the crypto market. And that's how most people lose. They just have no plan. They gamble. They follow things blindly. They haven't developed their own skills. They don't know how to use exchanges. They don't know how to send things from different wallets. All these basic things you need to learn basically on your own, and you'll be able to execute when the time is right. Right? There's nobody here to hold your hand. Right? It's really up to you. Of course, you can have a guide, you can have a mentor, but when it comes to actually executing, making the decisions to make a move, you need to do it, and you need to do it at an appropriate time. Because if you miss the time, the market can drop 50% in a day like we've seen before. So anyways, enough rambling. Let's see what's going on in our chat. All right, so we talked about Tau already, but we have a question from Donatus asking Cubic or Tau. So like I was saying with Brett, that's really kind of up to the individual, what kind of risk tolerance you have. Tau is a much safer option. It's going to give you less potential reward, something to compare to Cubic, for example, which is the current market cap around, 200 million? Yeah, 197 million on Cubic, compared to Tau at 2 billion. They are vastly different in terms of size and market capitalization. Here's BitTensor, 2.5 billion market cap. So I hold both. I hold both Cubic and Tau. I bought both of them around the same time last year, end of September, early October. And that was elite timing because right after I took positions, they started to move and they started to multiply. They've pulled back substantially on both. Cubic is a better risk reward. It's higher risk, much higher reward. Tau is a much safer play. But it can still give you some really, really awesome gains, which is, why I still hold it in the portfolio. I like both projects a lot. I think both have the potential to do really well. It's really up to you as the individual. Now, just looking at Cubic here, TA-wise, not much has changed. It's just kind of trading in the same range it's been in for quite some time now, for the past, say, 2 months, on the 2,000 per billion level to around 1,700 per billion. I think this is a pretty good buy zone. And when the market reverses, I can definitely see Cubic pulling multiple X's and making new all-time highs. Narala says, hi, Connor. Nice to see you again. How are you, Narala? Good to see you. Jonathan Tobias says, came in late, done with TET. No, we haven't gone over Tectum TET yet. We can go ahead and do that right now. So TET finally seeing some signs of life on the daily. Sorry, let's get rid of that. All right, anyways, 12-hour, we had that bullish divergence at the bottom. As you can see, I had it drawn out here. Ended up playing out. All right, ended up being the local bottom down here at $4.62. And we've seen a really nice breakout higher right to our previous demand zone at $10. Now flip to resistance, obviously. So yeah, Tectum, nice start, but a lot of work to be done for TET. What I do like is it did make a higher high past this pivot, which is key. It made a higher high, but it just swept the level right now. So very important for Tectum to continue higher, to flip $10 into support. $10 is resistance. We need to flip 10 into support. And then we continue up from and make up more lost ground. Tectum's a low market cap again with this huge decline. Let's check the current market cap. $69.70 million. So yeah, I mean, not much. It won't take much to see this thing multiply again. It's done so before. I still like the coin. I still hold the coin. I like the fundamentals. I like the fact that the team's transparent. They give updates. They're building. And It's also a payment solutions coin. And I think payment solutions at some point in time is going to be a big narrative in crypto, especially with Elon Musk potentially introducing crypto payments on X or Twitter. Good chance he introduces Dogecoin as an option to pay in crypto. Obviously, the main ones like Bitcoin. But yeah, Elon loves Dogecoin. So if he announces payment solutions, you're going to see all the payment solutions coins fly, and Tectum is one of them. Another one to think about, just sharing with you, is Alchemy Pay, based off the payment solution narrative. This is an old cycle coin, but nonetheless fits the narrative. As you can see over here, it did do quite well in 2021. And yeah, based off of payment solutions alone, 100 million market cap could be a main one when we see Elon introduce crypto payments on X. Something to think about if you're wondering coins to play a particular narrative. D Bogus says, do you think Ponky can become the #1 meme on Solana? It's possible. I mean, not sure that's the answer you're looking for. It's possible. Thing with Solana is it's quite tricky. It's quite an insider game. Most guys don't understand that. The main coins that do the best on Solana are pushed by kind of the Ansem cabal, right? Look at Popcat, look at Whiff, stuff like that. Ponky is not pushed by those same people. However, what Ponky does have that those other coins don't have is a real organic audience, and you cannot buy this. It needs to be built. And that's why I like Ponky a lot, because it built something real. It built a real community, a real audience. It built its own cult. So with that being said, that's very bullish. And I want to look at the Ponky chart here. We also had a question about Retardio on Solana, which we'll look at. Another meme which has a cult-like community around it. All right, so Ponky on Solana. This green box is the buy zone that I drew up on the chart many months ago. You know, it started in June. And every time prices dipped into the zone, it's given a bullish reaction, which is a good thing. The ideal buy zone would be 25 cents and below on Ponky. Now, can it become the top meme on Sol? It's a contender. It's a contender to do so. Even if it doesn't become the top meme, it still has a very high chance of multiplying and hitting that, say, 1 billion market cap level, which would be over a 5x from here. Pretty decent gains. And addressing Matty Yerda Cake's question about Retardio, we'll go look at that. So let's take a look at the chart. 63 million market cap right now. Connor, your thoughts on meme coin culture or meme culture coin called Retardio, please. So yeah, my thoughts on it. I like the fact that it has a cult built around it, right? Meme coins with cults built around them tend to do the best. Now this one, dropping into this area of demand over here at 50 million market cap, had a good reaction from there. However, it got rejected directly at resistance and, you know, didn't make any key higher highs past key pivot points. So technically speaking, this is still in a downtrend. So from a chart perspective, I'd be looking for this thing to come back to the 50 million and below market cap if you did want to buy it. But yeah, it doesn't look like it's kind of finished bottoming, basing. Had a good reaction over the past few days. But if we do see some short-term downside on the market here, this thing will drop lower as well. Let's go catch up with BTC and see how we're doing. See if we're dropping further or what. All right, not much happening over here on the charts. See how our active positions are doing. Turbo and Ton still basically just hanging out, not doing much. All right, so yeah, we'll continue to monitor those. For now, let's keep on going over some bull market coins. Mr. Bud says Tectum and Near rocket shit. Near is a decent higher market cap coin, especially because it has AI related to it. Abu says, Connor, do you think any good sign of L3 USDT? I'm not really sure what that is, but we can take a look at it. So layer 3 at a 19 million market cap. All right, it's on Bybit. It's on Bybit, it's on BitGet. So short term on the daily, I mean, this thing's rejecting directly from resistance back down to support. Quite simple. Any good signs for this coin? Potentially, yeah. I mean, potentially it got listed on Bybit and it's finding a bottom over here at around the 4-cent level. I would be looking, if you wanted to buy this coin, I would be looking towards the range lows. Below 4.3 cents. But yeah, this thing's potentially finding a bottom and maybe like an inverse Bart Simpson, right? Where it chops, and then eventually forms a nice rounded bottom and takes off. Wouldn't be the first time that happens on a newly listed coin on exchanges like Bybit. Seen many times in the past. But you would probably need the overall market to cooperate for something like that to play out. But yeah, just some basic analysis on this. I'm not really sure what it is, what it does. But that's just what I see on the chart. Armando says, I always learn something here. Thank you. No worries, Armando. I appreciate your support. Can you chart GPU Node AI? Yeah, we can do that for sure. So this thing's been in a very strong downtrend since the NVIDIA GTC conference, like all AI coins. Topped out 2nd of April. And let's get a trend line going. All right, so it has 2 taps of this line. We like to see a third. All right, so maybe it makes another run up towards $1 before eventually pulling back and then breaking this trend higher. I know this seems to be one of the better, say, on-chain AI coins out there. Most on-chain AI coins just ended up being complete money grabs. Teams taking advantage of the AI hype and launching tax farms, essentially. But this one seems to be standing the test of time a lot better than most. All right, so we know we have overhead resistance over here at around the $1.10 level. Lower, we got some pretty decent support coming in at 57 cents down to, I mean, when the market crashed, this thing went to 38, had a huge sell-off. But realistically speaking, 57 to 50 cents is your kind of rock solid support. And it's currently at 79. So I see a few cases if you did want to buy this coin. I'm not sure you can even trade it on perp. So the only thing you could really do is buy and sell in spot. So if you did want to buy GPU, here's what I would be looking at. Yearly open price, 69 cents. All right. Very clear level of support as well on the chart. That's the first level I'd be looking. Second level I'd be looking is a box from 57 to 50 cents. Like so, in here. All right, those are your 2 levels to set alerts on. Definitely take advantage of TradingView alerts. This way you don't have to check things every single day. You can just set an alert, get a notification to your phone when it's time to act, and take all the stress out of making decisions. When you make a clear plan ahead of time and you set up systems to execute, all you have to do is follow the plan instead of, again, randomly guessing blindly and making impulse decisions, flash in the pan decisions that usually end up being wrong. Always think about stuff like that. But yeah, altcoins for the most part, I mean, AI coins having good reactions, right? Based AI up basically 2x from its lows from the August 5th crash. Had a really good comeback. $2 back up to 380. This is looking pretty good. Tau looks really good. Yeah, AI is kind of the main focus currently. Let's see. Mr. Bud says, one more drop, then I'm going all in my bags, ready to explode. I like the plan, Mr. Bud. Shako, what are your thoughts on PAL and Desync? I don't hold those AI coins. They're not bad plays, I don't think. PAL AI and what is that? Destra, Desync. I just don't hold them personally, so I don't really keep up to date with them. I'm not sure how they're doing. Just see the price of Bitcoin here in the top right of my screen, taking a constant eye on it, looking for that drop, which would hit our targets on the short trades. Yeah, PAL looks okay. It's not, let's see the percentage of this move actually, because we're not on a log scale, so it's a bit hard to tell. All right, a 37% move, pretty much just like Tau, but it's a much lower market cap. Yeah, I don't know. I like my AI coins. I like the AI coins that I hold. Quite bullish on them. I have conviction in them. I've done my research on them. PAL, Desync could be good plays. PAL's been an amazing performer since last year. So winners tend to keep winning. So with that being said, I'm not going to say anything bad about those 2 coins. We have Rigoberto in the house. He says, morning, everyone. Have a great week. Thank you, Rigoberto. Good to see you here in the live chat. Guys, if you're enjoying the stream, smash up that like button. If you're new to the channel, smash that subscribe button below and turn on all bell notifications so you don't miss any future videos. Meteor Cake says, Connor, could you also look up Nubcat, silly Nubcat on Solana? Silly Nubcat. There you go. $10 million market cap. Okay, interesting. So this is the daily time frame. The fact that it's lasted this long as a Solana meme coin is a good sign, because most meme coins on Solana, they'll rug pull within a few days. So the fact that this has just been in a really kind of slow range is a somewhat good sign. And it looks like it's actually still below this level. Potential deviation in play below these lows. All right, what you don't want to see is any weakness here. Let's say it loses this level at 10 cents and continues and makes lower lows. I wouldn't continue to risk money in a Solana meme coin like this. But if you see a nice reaction here at 10 cents and then it flips this level into support, then I would be looking for a play higher. Yeah, decent move over the past week, reclaiming this level, but it's basically just back testing the breakout currently. So you just want to see that back test hold as support. If it's weak, then just get the heck out of it. Get out before you get wrecked, basically. Armando says, thank you. No problem, Armando. Abu, you're welcome. Shaq, no problem, my man. Patrick Allen says, thoughts on AI pin. DGen. Well, I've never heard of AI pin before. I wonder how new it is. It's not listed on CoinGecko yet, so I imagine it's DGen coin, just as you say. It's also not on Deck Screener. So, Patrick, I can't give you any thoughts on this one, brother. You're on your own. Sorry. Kazuya says, smash the like button. Mediura K, Connor, the man. Thank you, bro. Hey, no problem. I appreciate your support, Mediura. Thank you for being here. All right, let's go over these charts again before we wrap up. All right, lads, we're getting a bit of a drop here on BTC. We filled the wick. We made a lower low. Fresh Monday lows now. That's what we like to see. Again, just to move to this quarterly open, and we're going to see our targets get hit on Turbo and Ton. Short-term bearish, long-term bullish on Bitcoin here. Still a chance we go to 42K before the election narrative kicks in 3 to 4 weeks. And again, discussed these earlier on in the stream. If you want to catch up with the shorts we're in right now that were posted to the mastermind earlier, we're just looking for some moves slightly lower here, short turbo. If Bitcoin continues to drop, then we'll see this play out here towards the low $4. Whoops, we don't want to do that. And then on Ton as well, which is actually still a pretty decent entry. Again, very tight in validation. You don't want to risk much. Stop just below these highs at 470 and looking for a move towards the low fives. Again, Telegram founder arrested in jail right now in France, facing potentially 20 years behind bars for various different charges. Very bad look for the Telegram platform, Telegram chain, and a reason for this thing to drop. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. When Bitcoin does find a footing, I would be looking to flip long, but I'm just in the very short term here, just a little bearish. And let's see, FTM at 49 right now. Broke a pretty important trend line here in the hourly time frame. So yeah, everything is just following Bitcoin currently. I'll be looking to flip long. If you want to know when, I'll post it in the mastermind first. If you're interested in joining that, apply below. But regardless, guys, thank you all for being here. We're going to wrap up the live stream right now. Before we do that, I'll answer Jay's question. What do you think about Space Mesh? Will it come back? Good question to finish the stream on. Yeah, I do think Space Mesh has the potential to come back for sure. Current market cap is 40 million. That's very small. Let's go look at the chart. So this thing had a big sell-off after the August 5th crash. It went and made a lower low, which is a pretty bad sign. But I see that as people just panicking and selling at a loss, right? People probably unsure what's going to happen next. Is it going to come back? They're just like, get me out of it. I don't want to deal with this stress anymore, which is understandable, but it's also a lesson of why you should never invest more than you can afford to lose. Because look, if you're selling now and it does make a comeback, you are selling the bottom. All right. Do I think it can come back? I do think it can come back. Right. Fundamentals. This is an FA play. It's a fundamental coin. It's not a meme. It's not a hype token. Right. It's a new next generation layer 1, most decentralized blockchain in the world with their proof of space-time consensus. So has a lot of good things going for it. Also, the founder of this is a ex-Ethereum core developer. So it's not some random Joe Schmo making a new coin out there. It's somebody who was building Ethereum from the ground up with Vitalik back in the early days. Again, we want to bet on founders, proven teams, proven successful teams. Space Mesh has a lot of good things going for it. So yeah, that's my reasoning of why I think it can make a comeback. Will I be right? Will I be wrong? Time will tell. But yeah, I do still think this one can make a comeback. Anyways, lads, hope you enjoyed this live stream. We're going to go ahead and wrap it up right now. I'm still traveling right now, which is why the quality of this video is definitely not the greatest you've seen from here in my production, but that will pick up again soon as we do basically stop moving around constantly and find a footing and make up a home base to get to work. So appreciate you all being here. Thank you for your support. We'll see you very soon. Warwolf, what do you think about Ton? I talked about Ton so many times in this stream, so be sure to rewind and rewatch the stream because it's time to end it, but you'll get the answers of what I think about Ton in this stream if you just go back in time a little bit. Thank you, lads. Appreciate you all being here. I'll see you in the next video. Have an amazing rest of your evening.